Parents' night in, parents' night in, parents' night in, parents' night in. Welcome to Parents' Night In. This is Justin.
Ooh,
spooky.
Ooh, it's Ghost Kelly. Ooh.
Ghost Kelly. That means I can put stuff right through you.
Hey.
Woo!
Why are we starting
Already
this
starting
way?
with the dirty jokes.
Dude.
That's what I do.
Woo.
Tonight we're watching one of our all-time favorite movies. The Shining.
The Shinin.
One of the scariest movies ever.
And,
by what director?
Stanley Kubrick.
Kelly calls him Stanley Kubrick for some reason.
I did it once as a joke.
She's always thinking of boobs.
No, that's not why.
Oh, wait. No, that's me.
No, it's Kubrick, like I'm scared. Boo!
Oh, B-O-O. But wait, no, that's the same spelling, so that doesn't work.
You thought you were doing something wicked clever there. You were like, oh, shoot.
Nope, still boobs.
I forgot how to spell boobs for a second.
Always comes back to boobs. We haven't started the movie yet because immediately the first shot is one of my favorite shots of any movie ever made.
Where Justin basically puts his hand over my mouth so I won't say anything so he can watch the shot.
One of my favorite opening shots ever. So here we go. Yeah, see this Warner Brothers logo? It's gorgeous. Oh, no, that's not the shot. Oh my God, look at it.
Justin wants to live
Shut up.
here.
This shot is over, I can't remember the name of the lake, but it's in Montana. It's this low helicopter shot flying over the lake. It's just absolutely gorgeous.
It's beautiful.
It's amazing.
By the way, we've watched this movie probably
1,000 times.
Well, I mean, you've seen it. Maybe I've seen it with you probably 10 or 15 times. And pretty much every time we watch it, there's about 7, oh my God, look at that shots during the opening sequence.
I mean, they're just staggering.
Well, they are. I'm not disagreeing. I just think it's so funny. And the music is super creepy and haunting.
The music is awesome.
Wendy Carlos knows her shit.
Some of it's Wendy Carlos and some of it is existing music that he just took from other places because starting...
She?
No. Kubrick.
Oh.
Starting with 2001, he hired a composer to actually do a score for it, but while he was shooting the movie and editing, he had all these existing pieces of classical music just for something.
Right.
And he liked it so much, he just scrapped the original score.
I actually really like it when scores do that because it kind of sometimes gives a new meaning to that piece of music, and it makes you think of it in a completely different way.
Like the main theme of 2001.
Correct.
That's tied forever to that movie.
Yeah. I've never seen the movie, but I do love that theme.
You need to watch the movie. It's amazing.
We'll do that another time.
I'm sure most of you are familiar with the story of The Shining. It's about a family that goes up to a hotel in the mountains to be the caretakers for the winter, and all hell breaks loose. And that's basically the plot.
Oh, blank and no blank makes blank a blank blank.
Beth dies.
There's no Beth in this movie. That's a different movie. So next, I think it actually would be really fun if I just predict what you're going to say the whole movie because I already know all the things that you like. So Justin is now going to talk about the Native American motif in the hotel and how beautiful it is.
That's not what I was going to say, so shut the fuck up.
Okay, go on.
So if you'll notice, the Native American motifs are all over the hotel because they were based on the Ahwahnee Hotel in, I believe, Yosemite?
There's olive oil.
That is the most hideous outfit. It's like a red bodysuit with a paper dress over it.
Yeah, it's like a house coat, basically.
That's awful.
It's a very stay-at-home mom kind of day. She's reading a book, she's smoking a butt, she's eating a peanut butter sandwich on white bread.
Smoking in front of the kid. Jesus Christ, Shelley.
He's chewing on his sandwich and there's smoke billowing up his nose.
I don't want to play, Mrs. Torrance. So Jack is interviewing for the job. I mean, he basically kind of has the job, but he's, it's sort of a final interview while they just make sure he's the right guy to take care of the hotel for 5 months.
While they try to catch his vibe and see if he's kind of like murdery.
See if he's, Is this the kind of guy who's going to kill his family and bury them in the walls? No, he seems fine.
You don't always know.
You don't always know.
Don't always know.
It's the quiet ones you gotta watch, they say.
The neighbor, he was so quiet.
So you have never read the book, correct?
I don't read books. No, I have not read this book.
She's investigating her nails as she says that, like a fucking snob.
I love books. I don't have time to read them. I have a
don't
kid.
read books.
You just made me sound like the Emperor.
I don't read books.
So in this scene, I find Jack Torrance to be particularly creepy because he's too eager and too smiley and...
Too nice?
Yeah.
Yeah, it seems...
like an act.
It seems like an act.
It seems like he's like, I am a murderous guy, but I can't let them know yet because I don't want to kill anybody until they're gone.
It's like an abusive husband putting on a front for an outsider.
Ew. No,
No, but that's what it seems like.
Yeah, I know. I don't like it.
But that's kind of...
that's
it helps the movie that way.
Yeah, no,
because
I know.
in the book, Jack is just a normal guy who's struggling because he's an alcoholic. And he's a loving husband and father. He's just got problems. So when he goes bad in the book, it's clearly the hotel that's doing it to him. Mm-hmm. But in the movie, you can't be sure if it's the hotel or if it's him because the movie is deliberately ambiguous.
Well, right. And
and Stephen King had a big problem with that.
60-40 hotel. I still think it's more hotel. I think he had more potential.
But I'm like, as it plays out, the impression you get from the performances is that this was always there. It just needed a catalyst.
Stephen King wrote the book?
Yeah. You didn't know that?
I did. I forgot.
Oh.
Well, because I think The Shining and I think Stanley Kubrick.
I think The Shining. I think boobs. The lady in the bathtub.
No.
Oh, sorry. So Stephen King did not like this movie at all because they changed the story so radically.
Do you think now he feels differently about it?
I don't know. I'd be curious. I don't know if he's seen it more than once, honestly.
I guess if it's your art.
If it's your art and somebody completely subverts it like that, I could see why you'd be pissed. But honestly,
stood the test of time.
I think the movie is superior to the book. The book is great.
Did you hear that, Stephen? Stephen!
Stephen, I love you.
Stephen, did you hear that?
You're my favorite author.
Stephen.
But I think Stanley Kubrick's movie is better.
I just heard from Stephen you're not allowed in Maine anymore.
I'm not allowed in Maine. He owns the whole state.
He could if he wanted to.
Stephen King wrote his own teleplay of The Shining for a miniseries in the 90s.
With Steven Weber.
With Steven Weber. And Steven Weber is great. The rest of it, not so great.
Hi, hon.
Her performance is so strange in this movie.
Her performance is really strange, but also...
And you have a hard time almost believing that he'd be married to her, kind of.
Yeah.
But that was Kubrick's choice. Like, he wanted her to be kind of clingy, and he wanted the dynamic of the relationship to be she's way more in love with him than vice versa. Because that makes her more vulnerable.
Yeah.
We'll talk about it as it happens more, I'm sure, but like, he treated her like dog shit when they were shooting this because he wanted her to be in hysterics. He wanted her to be at the end of a rope the whole time.
It's just, it's...
And yeah,
it's I'm both
it worked. You can't argue with the results, but it must have been hell for her.
I find that both extremely interesting and also deeply disturbing. Like, that's abusive.
Yeah, I mean, he just...
That's a hostile work environment, and my human resources department would not appreciate that.
I don't think Stanley Kubrick had a human resources department because they would make him change his name.
You sounded like you were reading it from a cue card.
Hold on. I don't think Stanley Kubrick had a human resources department. So Danny has these weird episodes where he sort of goes into a trance, and the doctor came over and she's like, he's okay.
The doctor looks like Lamb Chop's friend. Doesn't she look like Sherry Lewis a little bit?
She should have whipped out the puppets when she was talking to him.
So, Danny, did you have a bad day? What did you see when you went to sleep? Did anybody touch you in the bum? Did you see blood coming out of the elevator? Because if so, we need to take you into the hospital.
I'm wondering, is that a common thing that people see and that's why she knew to ask it? Or is it because she planted it in his head?
It's hypnotism.
It's what?
Hypnotism.
How much have you had to drink? You can't talk tonight.
I said hypnotism.
I'm concerned about you.
I didn't mispronounce the word hypnotism.
You said hypnotism.
No, it's not what I said.
Rewind the tape.
Hypnotism. See?
It was not that clear the first time.
Okay, so this scene is Wendy talking to the doctor, and Wendy tells the doctor a lot of information about her relationship with Jack and how he is a pretty abusive prick and a terrible drunk. And the doctor looks horrified the whole time. Yeah, he came home and he broke Danny's arm. It's just the sort of thing that happens all the time with 2-year-olds.
It happens all the time.
Can I offer you a cigarette?
What you drinking?
I am drinking
The cheapest wine ever?
Angel's Cup Chardonnay.
We get this wine at the Fresh Market in Hingham.
It is not too shabby.
It's not bad. And they have it on sale very often for $5 a bottle. So I picked it up one day thinking, if it sucks, it's a good second bottle of wine for when you don't want to waste,
Or you could always cook with it
a
if
buzz
you
on
had
a good
to.
stuff. Well, yeah, that was the other thing too.
Yeah.
And I am going
you
with
drinking?
the theme and drinking a Pumpkinhead.
It's Kelly's favorite beer.
It's not my favorite beer.
Well, you
used to be.
you act like it is.
It used to be my favorite beer. Well, I love fall.
It was event time when Pumpkinhead came out every
It
year.
was, yeah. When Pumpkinhead first came out and I started drinking a lot of it, it was like, oh, yeah, this is so awesome, woo. And then I became more of a craft beer fan. Mm-hmm. And so over the years, it's more of like it's a tradition thing. I like it. I like to have it in the fall. I love the cinnamon sugar rim. And then like I have a few and I'm like, okay, where's the real beer? So, and that's no offense to you, Shipyard. I love Pumpkinhead, but I also like variety. Like I'm not a one beer girl.
You're a beer slut?
You know what, Justin?
I'm going to beer slut shame you.
No. In 2018, you cannot talk to me like that. I am not a beer slut.
What are you?
I don't know. What do they call men?
Beer playa?
No. I'm an aficionado.
Okay. He hasn't touched a drink in 5 months, even though this incident was 2 years ago.
Good point. Well, it does take some time.
She's a battered housewife, which again takes you back to Nicholson's performance as the putting on the act of the loving father when it's quite obviously an act.
Well, he's so clearly annoyed this whole car
And
ride.
that's what makes the movie scarier too, is because it's so much more relatable than just a ghost story of this family that gets ripped apart by this haunted hotel. It's the family was already fucked up to begin with because of him. And it's like, you don't know what he's capable of. And the hotel just sort of brings that out of him.
Also, Danny is not wearing a seatbelt.
Jesus Christ, Jack. Put your kid in the fucking car seat.
They didn't have him back then for kids.
He's under
age.
65 pounds.
Yes, but that wasn't a law
I
back
know,
then.
I'm kidding. I love these shots of the exterior of the hotel. So that hotel is the Timberline Lodge in, I believe, Mount Hood, Oregon.
The outside hotel?
Yeah, the exterior. So they found that place, and the interiors are based on the Ahwahnee Hotel in California. And that's where the Native American motifs come in. So there's an essay online, I think it was like 30 years ago. It's by a guy named Bill Blakemore called The Family of Man that analyzes this movie with the subtext of it's not really about all the surface level shit, it's about the genocide of the American Indian, which comes through in all of the Native American motifs and little clues throughout the movie. And I don't know if that was deliberate on Kubrick's part, but it just adds another layer of interest. Danny has discovered the games room. In a minute, he's about to discover a horrific sight of 2 twin girls that should not be there.
Oh, this is my favorite. So we bought our house almost 10 years ago now. And
No, who are they?
It was like a big deal. We bought the big TV. And this was the first movie we watched in our awesome finished basement in our home. But anyway, I also had a fairly new camera.
We were blown away by
had some
how
cool settings.
amazing the HD was.
Yeah. So the HD was so amazing. And so I was playing with my camera and I was like, oh my God, if I take a picture of the TV the right way, it looks like this is real people in the room.
In our room.
So I went to take a picture of the TV as I was playing with the camera, like just goofing around. And I was taking a picture of Danny. But when the shutter closed, it was actually the twins. And so when I looked at the camera, it was like, ah! And now those twins haunt my dreams. Come play with us, Danny. Those twins are
Creepy as fuck.
weirdos.
Oh, they're totally creepy.
Like in real life now.
Really?
Yeah. They're like super trashy.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
They have one full set of teeth between them.
I actually think you may not be wrong. It's a good possibility that when Kelly looks stuff up on Google, we might find this to be true.
So one of the stars of this film is just the hotel itself. All of the interiors are sets. They had to build everything from scratch. And Kubrick just sent people around to different parts of the country and just had them take pictures of hotel rooms and hotel lobbies and blah, blah, blah. And he just picked and chose the pieces that he liked the best and he put them all together to make the Overlook set. And
Oh, no.
it's one of the greatest sets ever constructed for a film.
That's what she looks like now?
Yeah, Shelley is not well these days, like psychologically not well.
That's very sad.
I guess she's battled like severe depression and stuff.
Well, maybe Stanley Kubrick should have been
I
nicer to her.
don't think Stanley Kubrick is the reason. So this
Anyways.
is the chef, Dick Halloran. He's showing Wendy the kitchens because
It's Scatman Crothers.
Kelly, she's a woman and it's 1980.
Yeah.
It's very presumptuous that Mr. Ullman is like, oh, Mr. Halloran, could you show Wendy the kitchen?
Ski scabba-doo, peaches and cream, relish, ketchup, maraschino cherries.
What the fucking hell are you talking about?
I was going through the grocery list with Scatman
Ski
Crothers.
scabba-doo, peaches and cream. Is he like a rapper? So look, Jesus. The Calumet baking powder can
Yeah.
is straight on because Dick Halloran is talking to Danny through his mind and he's offering him something very honest and straightforward. You like ice cream, Doc? Later on, you see the Calumet can in this room and it's crooked because the ghosts are talking to Jack and they are not being honest.
Holy macaroni.
Mind blown.
Mind blown, or someone moved the can and the nerds of the world dissected it for years.
Shut up.
Can we just admit that it's possible?
It is
that some
possible.
asshole extra turned the can?
Some asshole extra. He was probably fired.
Like, ooh, Calumet, I love this stuff. Whoop!
It would have been funny if he said, Calumet, I love this stuff. Poof.
Well, that's how the can got
Dabbed
hurt.
himself in the face with a bunch of baking powder for no reason.
He thought it was cocaine.
He snorted it off his own asshole.
Oh!
He was very flexible.
Something tells me if he was that flexible, that's not what he would do.
No, it's not.
He's so cute. He's a cute little kid.
He's a cute kid.
He's got a little ice cream beard.
I think he turned out okay. He ended up being a teacher, I believe.
Yeah, he seems to be pretty.
Yeah,
functional
and
in society.
part of the reason for that, I mean, I'm not going to say part of the reason, but like when they were shooting this,
What didn't F him up?
it didn't fuck him up. They somehow tricked him into thinking this was not a horror film when they were shooting it, and I have no idea how they could possibly have done that.
Because they didn't show him anything scary.
No, I know that, but like he's running away from Jack Nicholson and stuff, and there are shots where he looks horrified and he's like having a seizure and stuff. Like, how did they get him to do this and be like, oh no, it's going to be a comedy. It's funny. What you're doing is funny. So really look scared.
I don't know. Well, there's a lot of pretend. You know, kids are really good at pretend.
Yeah, I know.
Say, I need you to pretend that you're super duper scared right now.
Danny's performance is very understated, but pretty naturalistic.
It is pretty natural.
And he's
He's not like too much of a kid actor.
No. He's...
Well, Mr. Halloran. Why did I sound like I was 90?
No, I know, Mr. Halloran. I like chocolate ice cream. If you could give me some of that, I would be very appreciative. Hey, Mr. Halloran, what is it that is in room 237? Because
You're slipping
that
into Cosby.
You know, Mr. Halloran,
I don't think we should go the Cosby route.
I've seen people in room 237.
Oh, God.
Oh, God.
Let's make a connection. This is very important. When
Are we going to
worked at-
shine together?
Yeah.
I don't even know what that was. I felt something, though.
Okay. That's
We had a
'cause
connection.
Because I'm holding your hand.
Oh, that's what that was. Okay.
Yeah. So when we worked at BT, and we moved to Quincy, our phone numbers were 237. It was a 617-237.
Really?
Yep.
Oh.
Pretty
Creepy.
Sure, I'm pretty sure the whole BT was a shining.
When you called it up, was it a dead woman in the bathtub?
I don't know. You probably called me multiple millions of times.
Yeah, and I heard... I love this shot. So this was one of the first movies, if not the first movie, to make use of the Steadicam.
Yeah.
So they actually got the inventor of the Steadicam to come shoot the movie. I believe his name's Garrett Brown. And no, I think that's his...
No, I know.
Why is that funny?
For some reason, I thought you were just going to stop at his first name, and I thought it was really funny. I believe his name is Mike. She made him breakfast in bed. What a wonderful woman, and he just shit all over her.
Wow. There's a lot of use of mirrors in this film. pretty much every time Jack talks to a ghost, there's a mirror in the room. So subconsciously you're like, well, he could kind of still be talking to himself.
But I find this scene captivating because it's one of the few times that you see them interacting with each other directly.
As a normal couple.
As opposed to like him talking to Danny and her watching him. There's not a lot of these scenes. It looks so fun out there.
This is the hedge maze. This was Kubrick's idea.
This puts our local corn mazes to shame.
Yes. In the book, it was not a hedge maze, it was hedge animals. And they come to life and start attacking Danny in one scene.
Oh no, it's horrifying. Is it imagination?
No, it's their
Stephen
ghosts.
King.
Yeah. But nobody liked that idea when they were making this movie because it's silly.
Oh, I like this so much better.
The maze is so much better.
Well, the whole point
It's one of those things like the topiary animals work in written form. They wouldn't work in a movie. It would be goofy.
Well, that's the thing. Like this movie works well as a scary movie because it is believable through and through.
Subtle.
Right. Like all of these things could potentially have happened.
The way they shot this is obviously a Steadicam shot, but they use such a wide angle lens that it makes the walls look about 12 feet high when they're actually only about 8. Oh. And they had to get the angle just right or it would throw the whole illusion off. The movie is subtle. The performances are not so subtle. Kubrick was notorious for doing just dozens and dozens of takes, partly because he didn't rehearse beforehand, so they just rehearsed with the cameras rolling because he didn't know exactly what he wanted, so he was like, let's go for it. Okay, that was all right, let's try something else.
This is a really cool shot.
This is a great shot. It's a composite shot. It's a model maze, and then just the center of it is a crane shot.
Yeah, they did a really good job.
Seamless.
We were commenting on Wendy's clothing, but
red and blue? Oh yeah, she does.
Red and blue
she's
thing.
Wearing red.
Yeah.
Her boots.
You mentioned something about it being very Victorian.
Yeah.
She's covered head to toe, which actually I think...
Yeah, every scene.
When you talk about the abusive thing, could make sense.
Yeah.
If he really is a sort of...
Controlling.
Covering up the fact that he's an abusive husband, of course she's not going to show any bruises.
Yep. Well, yeah, and the sexual repression thing, you're not allowed to show any skin.
Yeah. She's a very meek sort of person anyway.
Yes, right. This is the first scene where he really starts to show his true colors.
Where it's not
and
under
in this
the
scene,
surface anymore.
It's very not clear that it's the hotel that's doing this to him. This is
just him being a dick.
This is him being like an abusive asshole.
Oh my God, there's a star on the chair behind
just
him.
The hotel.
And it has 7 spokes on it, and I'm pretty sure that's a sign.
Of what?
I have no idea, but it's a sign.
There are 7 days in the week, and he's a bastard in all 7.
There are 7 days in a week, and all of the Native Americans die.
All 7 nations.
Were there 7?
I have no idea.
Okay.
Shit, if there were.
That would have been wicked weird.
If there were, that's meta. Look it up. How many Native American nations were there?
That's so meta. How many Native American nations are there? 573.
The middle digit is 7.
And there are 3 members of the Torrance family.
And they're there for 5 months. Done.
So meta.
Holy shit.
Meta, left, right, and center.
And then there is this shot.
He's like foaming at the mouth. He's super duper creepy.
He's super creepy. This is the Kubrick stare that is in most of his movies. And Jack is losing his fucking marbles already. Also, all these exterior lights pouring in through the windows, that's all artificial light.
Well, what do you think about that?
I think that's amazing. It looks like real winter sunlight. That's all like lighting rigs that are giving off like 1,000,000 watts or something.
Wait, did you say that's artificial light?
That's artificial light.
Oh, I thought that was natural light.
Nope.
I really wasn't listening.
You fuck.
I thought you said, I could have sworn you said natural.
No,
you know what that
I said
was,
that
Justin?
wasn't natural light.
That was my unconscious bias. Because the way that you were starting the sentence made it seem like you were going to say natural light, and you were so excited by the fact that it was natural light. And so I just stopped listening.
Yeah, it's not natural light. The entire hotel is on a soundstage, so they had to simulate the sunlight so that it would just be everywhere, and you couldn't, it wasn't like light bulbs where it would throw shadows and stuff. It looks like sunlight. Boom! Twins.
Oh, shit.
Twins, Bazu. Twins. Danny should have asked their names so one of them could have said, "Fuck you!" Here's a super creepy part. He sees visions of them being all hacked up and shit. Like this part, how did they convince him? No, this is a comedy. Just pretend you're really scared of what you're looking at.
Well, I think, again, it's just, they're telling him to pretend something. When you pretend something, it's pretend. You don't see it. They're not showing him the hacked up images.
But he still has to act really scared and be like,
here's what I want to know.
remember what
did
Mr.
those
Holleran
twins
said.
think? Like, just lay down in this puddle of blood, dear.
yeah, that's true.
Stay as still as you
Yeah,
can.
right.
You're not dead. You're swimming in
You're swimming
blood.
in blood.
And when I say swimming, I mean laying perfectly still.
Floating. Floating is a better word.
We haven't talked much about Tony, but Tony is the man that lives inside of Danny's mouth,
Yeah,
is what he
his
explains.
imaginary friend.
His imaginary friend, and he lives inside his mouth, but he talks to him through his finger.
With a creepy ass voice. And that's another thing, like,
with the voice.
so Danny, be really creepy and talk like this.
Well, that's a silly voice, though.
I guess.
You have to think like a 6-year-old. That's a silly voice.
Let's ask Harry what he thinks.
I don't think he should watch
After
this
he
movie.
watches this movie. Harry, now if we had you as Danny, would you think this was a scary movie?
As Harry pees his pants and runs to bed.
Here's another really creepy scene. What I want to know is, they have their run of the place and Ullman sets them up in this shabby little room instead of one of the luxury rooms.
Yeah, but it's like a whole quarters, though. It's not a hotel room.
I guess they have a stove and such, but I'm sure there's other rooms they could have stayed in that were nicer. No?
This is the caretaker suite, Justin.
Fuck that shit. You have
Follow
the run
the
of the
fucking
place.
rules.
No, man. If I'm staying in this place for 5 months, I am staying in I'm going to sleep in every room.
I gotta tell you something, Justin. That was not the rule he was concerned about anyway.
Probably.
It was that whole keeping people alive thing.
I would probably christen every room, if you know what I mean. Do you know
Everyone knows what you mean.
Do you know what I mean?
You didn't veil it very much.
Everyone knows, Justin, you're a pig.
It's like I'm in 7th grade again, and the boys on the bus think they're funny.
And you married one of them. What does that say about you?
That I like boys? Because you guys are all like that.
Are we?
I mean, I haven't met all of you, but...
What am I drinking now, Kelly? Give up? I'm drinking Mayflower Brewing Company Summer.
Wrong season!
Well, we have some leftover.
Yeah.
Zzz. This is only 3.8 by volume? Holy shit.
So I'll tell you, they're
Look at
sitting
that.
there.
That is a session ale.
So Danny goes up to get his fire engine, and Jack's sitting on the side of the bed, staring off into the distance like a fucking creep. And then he looks over and sees Danny's like, "Come here, Danny."
Come here, Danny.
And then Danny sits on his lap, and then they have this super creepy conversation where Danny is clearly very uncomfortable with his own dad. There's not like a connection between them.
So here's the scene. How do you trick this kid into thinking this isn't scary? Jack Nicholson's acting like a total fucking creep.
Or a little goofy.
I'm gonna say weird things, Danny.
Like, okay, now Jack's gonna be kind of silly, and you're just gonna stare at him like, dude, you're not funny.
You're just gonna stare at him like, I want to keep all my insides inside my body. Please leave them there. Look at the face he's making at him. How is that not scary as fuck when you're 5?
I don't know.
I love that shot.
Bing!
Look at those rugs. Those are perfect for driving cars around.
They're cool rugs.
We need to get rugs like that so I can play with my toy cars.
What? So he's playing with the cars on the floor, and it's like this beautiful geometric pattern.
What do you call
Someone
that
just rolled
style
a
of
ball
rug?
right down the center.
The Senator?
The center. Geometric?
That's the style? Mm-hmm. So Danny's wearing an Apollo 11 sweater, a hand-knitted sweater, and there are a lot of conspiracy theorists out there who think that is indicative that Stanley Kubrick shot the moon landing on a soundstage and that it wasn't real.
Oh, for the
And that's
love
Kubrick
of Pete.
trying to tell everyone because he wasn't allowed to actually tell anyone at the time. It's goddamn ridiculous.
Justin, if we can go to the moon, why aren't we there every day?
So this is Wendy.
And Jack's supposed to be the friggin' caretaker.
Yes.
And what's he doing? Sleeping all day
He's not
and
doing
like
shit.
writing shit, and
She's
she's like
doing all the
checking
work.
pressure gauges.
Right.
And
This is supposed to be his job.
I mean, to be fair, what the hell else is she gonna do? Like, if it were me, I would do stuff too, because I'd be bored.
Yeah, but
then I'd also be like, why aren't you fucking doing anything? I'm not doing all the fucking work. This is not what I sound like at home, guys.
it's not.
No.
Could have fooled me.
Why am I doing every fucking thing, you cock?
Jack is having a nightmare.
Wendy's in the process of, like, helping Jack after his wicked, freaky dream, and Danny comes strolling
Waltzing
in.
sucking his thumb, and with his sweater torn. She's trying to get him to leave the room because she's trying to deal with Jack, but she can't see that he's clearly been assaulted by somebody.
And then she looks over at Danny, and she realizes that there's something wrong.
He's got bruises all over him. She immediately looks at Jack, and Jack's like, what? Wait, what?
And
What?
so it can go
Me?
either way because, you know, number one, she clearly shouldn't trust him because he's a psychotic person. And it's very clear that there's some kind of weird abusive past going on there.
Right.
But to be fair, he's also the only other human in the hotel, and she knows she didn't do it. So,
Right.
like,
Right.
you know,
It's like if they're...
if her first conclusion was, someone's in the hotel with us, then it would be like, you're a fucking crazy person.
I love this shot, too. As Jack is walking down the hall, and he has 4 different psychotic gestures. I'd be really curious to see some of the other takes that they did for Jack's performance. Like some of the more restrained ones.
Does Kubrick have a vault somewhere?
I'm sure he does.
Maybe he deeded it to you in his will.
To me?
The gold room is very cool. So he sits down at the bar. He basically looks like he's drunk. He's clearly
He
like
does.
way overtired.
Right.
He has not been sleeping.
Or he's been going to bed at 5 a.m.
And actually, by going to bed, that means sitting on the edge
He's
of the
sitting on
bed
the
and
edge of the bed
staring
like
out
a
the
crazy
window.
person. Yeah.
Hello, Lloyd.
And here we see the bartender who may or may not be there. So he's talking to a ghost, apparently, except there's a mirror in front of him, so maybe he's talking to himself. Who knows? And that's the same actor who played Tyrell in Blade Runner.
Is Blade Runner the one I saw? The rapey one?
Yes.
I know she's like a robot, but still. Hashtag me 2.0. Get it?
Oh.
Ah. I love what it looks like when you pour from the pour spouts in an alcohol bottle.
Why?
It just looks so cool. It like, shoo.
Does it make that noise? Shoo!
In my head, yes.
Okay.
I just think it looks like a rainbow.
A rainbow!
It's a cool shape, Jesus.
It's got reds and yellows and
No,
purples
that's
and
not what
blues.
I mean the shape of a rainbow. It's like an arch.
How drunk were you when you saw this happen? You just, oh, so good. It's like Popeye getting his spinach.
Uh-huh.
If the spinach were murder juice.
If spinach made Popeye kill everyone. Oh wait, it kind of does. He punches people.
It
They go
does.
into the sea.
Popeye's an alcoholic, isn't he?
No, he's a roid head.
Oh, he's a roid head, yes.
He's got the roid rage.
That makes more sense.
I'm really mad at you. I'm gonna take some roids and throw you out.
In real life, he would be injecting the spinach into his buttock.
Why? Why the butt?
I don't know. I don't know why.
Maybe because it's not visible.
Maybe.
Poke holes.
Yeah, tracks.
Even here, like when he's saying, "As long as I live, never let me forget what happened." It's still very. Is it disingenuous? Is that the word? I don't like that word. That word has too many weird.
Syllables?
In.
I don't like anything that's more than 3 syllables.
It's very ingenuine.
Disingenuous is the right word.
So Wendy comes running in to the gold room, and we see Jack as he really actually is, alone at the bar.
Right.
No bartender, no drinks. But she says there's a woman in the hotel. She's the one that hurt Danny.
And he goes, "Are you out of your fucking mind?" And he seems drunk.
He seems drunk. But think of the tiredest you've ever been. Like,
Yeah,
you're up for like 23 hours and you barely feel like a person.
right.
It does feel a little bit like you're drunk. You get lightheaded, yet your head feels like it weighs 75 pounds.
Yeah. Mr. Halloran has
Boobs on his wall.
titties on his wall.
Kubrick!
This is Mr. Halloran's Florida residence. when he is off season. He's pretending to watch TV, but he's actually looking at the portrait above his TV. Because boobs.
Is that what you would do if you had boobs on your wall?
Yeah, that's why I don't have boobs on my wall, because I wouldn't look at anything else.
That's why. Not because it would be horribly tacky or, we have a 6-year-old.
No.
So we hear the shining noise. So he's getting some kind of transmission from the shining.
He looks freaked out. I don't know why there's a heartbeat. Maybe that's his
actually,
heartbeat going crazy. But don't.
First of all, his eyes are really cool.
Yeah.
He's got sort of like a blue rim around his eyes. But it's a very well done scene because they do this really slow zoom in on him, and he goes from like barely paying attention to the news to absolutely horrified.
And here's Danny having a seizure and drooling and shit. So Danny, this is going to be a really funny scene. You should drool and act like there's a bug flying into your nose. Jack is going to investigate room 237. Nope. Who's this in the bathtub?
Don't fall for it, Jack. Jack.
Jack, it's a trick.
Jack.
No, he's falling for it. He's taking the bait. Boobs.
Uh-oh. What's that noise from again? The boobs noise?
Honest trailers.
Right. Did they do one for this?
I don't know. I don't think they have.
You should call them.
I should call them? I should volunteer my services.
1-800-HONEST trailers.
That's way too many digits.
1-800-BOOBS.
That's too few digits.
1-800-HONEST-BOOBS.
1-800-YUM-BOOBS. She's very skinny.
She is a very 70s lower region. There's some full frontal going on here.
As in vegetation?
That's quite the hedge maze she's got going on.
It's symbolism, you see. Jack will die in the hedge maze. And here, she's trying to lure him into her hedge maze where he will die.
Oh, my Lord.
He's making out with her.
He's really going to town on that carcass.
Some action. But wait, what? Mirror. Again, he's in a room with mirrors. And she's a rotting corpse who laughs at him creepily. So Jack came back to give her the full debriefing of room 237. He's like, I didn't see anything. Nothing. No creepy old ladies.
Didn't make out with anybody.
Tell you that much. No rotten tits.
I'll tell you one thing I didn't see.
Burnt back fat.
Everyone I saw was clothed. There wasn't anybody, but they were all clothed.
Everyone in this room had perfectly classy attire on. Not that I saw anyone.
I'll tell you something. Everybody had clothes. Wait, you saw people? No.
There was a whole cocktail party. Everyone was dressed in tuxedos and evening gowns, except I didn't see any people at all. Why are you asking me all these questions? Stop it.
He's gaslighting the shit out of her right now because
Yep.
he's like accusing her of making all this shit up because he's succeeding.
Yeah.
First of all, Jack, you ain't succeeding in anything. Let's be honest right now. Look at yourself. Second of all, Jesus Christ, chill out.
Yeah, he just keeps saying, like, you fucked up my life.
You finally have a chance to do something and you're going to ruin it by letting our son get abused by dead naked ladies.
I got a good thing going here. And then Jack hears strains of music. Wait, what? Why is there music? Who's playing music? I want to go to this party, by the way.
It's part of the rage right now. Everyone's having Great Gatsby parties.
We need to go to one.
Okay. Toilets and powder room.
I love the bathroom in this movie. Red and white.
It's very red. What were we watching recently where they redid this bathroom? We were watching something and you were like, that's the Shining bathroom.
Fuck.
What movie was that?
I don't remember, but yes.
Kelly looked stuff up on Google.
Look it up on Google.
Kelly looked stuff up on Google. We needed
Brought to you by Kelly.
movie which used the Shining bathroom, which was not the Shining.
Kelly looked stuff up on Google.
There's stuff she needs to know.
This is where he's laying down some heavy shit on Jack. He's like,
It was Hannibal.
What?
It was Hannibal, the show.
The show, right. Yep. Homage.
It's a wider bathroom, but they rebuilt it.
Yeah.
These urinals don't touch the floor. They screwed it up. You know what I don't like?
So he's all like, you've always been the caretaker. And Jack's like, wait, what? What? Wait. Hey, English guy. What?
You know why I don't like this guy? He looks like he's always flaring his nostrils like a little punk.
A punk?
Hey, punk.
I think that he just has a...
Flap your nostrils back
wide
down.
nostrils. I think that's just his nose.
No, I know. But there are some people who always look like that. They're like, hi, my name's Stephanie. I can breathe everything. So they're still in the red bathroom. It's been a long red bathroom time. And and so as they're in there, the old caretaker, Grady, is talking to Jack, and Jack's kind of in a Danny trance a little bit.
A little bit. Here's Danny's first use of the word red rum.
I gotta be honest. If my child did this, I probably would have jumped through a plate glass window to my death. I'm just letting you know. I am like the biggest wimp ever in real life. Like if someone coughs funny, I'm like, oh my God, he's dying.
If he starts chanting a word backwards in a creepy voice, I'd throw myself in the dryer and turn it on.
How are you gonna do that with the door open?
I don't know. Mr. Halloran is taking a flight back to Colorado because he's deeply concerned he cannot get a hold of anyone there.
I love this shot. Damn it, why do I say it as many times as you? I love this shot. They're coming into the dining room and Jack's typing at his table and he's perfectly centered at this long dining room table like a giant desk. The chandeliers are beautiful. I love the symmetry of the room.
It's a classic Kubrick shot of single point perspective.
Well, you had to get all fancy and filmmakery
That's what
on
it's
me.
called.
No, I know. But I like it because it's pretty.
And it's unnerving because so few movies use that technique.
Like when you hold eye contact with a person for too long.
And your nostrils flare. They turned out to be totally unreliable assholes. Why would they have the cook go to see if they need to be replaced? This story doesn't hold up under scrutiny, Mr. Halloran.
You know what, though? He gets away with it.
He does.
Because fate wants him to help these people, but then fate does not work out well
For him.
But we'll get to that in about 7.5 minutes. Okay, everybody?
Uh-huh.
Or in Parents' Night In time, probably like 35 seconds or so.
Yeah, after I edit it.
I don't know why you edit anything. It's pure gold 100% all the time.
These roads do not look fun.
That's not true. It's actually a lot of shit. He takes out all of the shit and leaves the somewhat okay stuff.
I can hear you.
No, you can't. I'm talking to the I'm talking to the audience at home.
He just drove by a semi-truck that had flipped over. That road does not look fun to drive on.
It doesn't.
Oh, I'm sorry. I forgot who I was talking to.
No, it does. Oh, wait. He's watching Roadrunner.
He's still basically in a trance, though.
Roadrunner, something all day. Meep. I never liked the Roadrunner cartoons that much.
We watched them a lot.
You know why?
When they were replaying it on Nickelodeon.
I always felt bad for the coyote. He just wants to eat. He gets blown up. It's rude.
He really just wants some meat. I like meat. No one blows me up when I want it.
Plus, the Acme company fucks him over so many times by selling him shoddy products that malfunction.
So basically, you don't like the Roadrunner cartoons because you are the coyote.
That would happen to me, yes.
Yes, because you buy things and they don't work the way you want them to, and then you swear
and then
profusely,
I blow up.
and then you just keep going back for more, and it's like, just throw the thing away.
Oh, shit. She stumbled onto his typewriter. She's about to come to the horrific realization.
Fantastic shot, by the way.
Yes, this is a great shot. That he's been a madman this entire fucking time.
All work and no play makes Jack a dull boy.
Pages and pages and pages of one sentence over and over again.
Sometimes he's a dull bot, and sometimes he's a dull bog.
Misspelled.
And sometimes he's a dial bog.
Somebody had to type all these out,
I was going
too.
to say, who did it?
There's dozens of pages.
Yeah, and this was before the days of photocopy.
Yep.
All
Oh my
work
God.
and no play makes
Oh,
Jack a dull
Jesus.
boy.
When does this stop? No, make it stop. Please make it stop.
This is like super freaky.
Oh my God. He hasn't written a page of anything coherent. He's a crazy man. He's been sitting at this typewriter for months.
Except she's been doing all the work, God damn it. Honey, there's 40 of them. I don't think you need to keep digging because I'm pretty sure that numbers 41 through 7,000 are going to say the same thing.
It's a long book. of one sentence.
Do you think that in 2018 you could sell a book like that? I bet you could.
You probably could.
People would put it on their coffee tables and
Yep.
they'd be like all ironic about it and
Yeah.
hipster, and they'd be like, oh my God, I just got the best book, and you're like, you have to read it.
It's called-
But you can only read it if you drink absinthe with lemon and heather.
What is Heather?
A flower.
Jack caught her looking at his manuscript.
And now she's basically peeing her pants. Thank God she brought a bat.
And he's flipping through like, yeah, this is all good stuff. I'm confident that this will sell. He's just stalking her all the way across the room.
He's completely taking all of her concerns and making them about him.
Yeah, he's a gaslighter.
He's a classic gaslighter. Do you have you thought about me at all?
Right.
Our kid is having psychotic episodes and being attacked by women who don't exist.
Right. That's why he keeps coming back to just classic domestic abuse. The other great thing about the Steadicam is they could just go all over the set and not have to worry about dolly tracks.
Right, that's
any of that.
pretty awesome.
It's
So
all-
it gives you the chance to do these long.
Right, it's completely mobile.
takes.
Everything can be 360, which is another reason why he wanted the light streaming in, so that like you could use every part of the set. She has bashed Jack in the face with a baseball bat, and she's now dragging him to the dry goods cupboard.
She should have put him in the freaking freezer.
That would have killed him, Kelly.
Yeah.
She's not trying to kill
That's
him.
the point.
She's just trying to keep him at bay until she can get away. Do you see? She doesn't understand how to open a fucking locker.
Hasn't she been going in there to get food?
Well, she's panicked. She forgot about the pin. You take the pin out.
She wasted an awful lot of precious seconds. Come on, Wendy, get your head out of your ass.
Jesus Christ, Wendy.
I gotta be honest. If that were me, I would have pulled it twice. I would have panicked. I would have left him on the floor, and I would have ran away.
Yeah.
I'd end up dead. I don't think I'd be good in this situation.
You also would have slipped on your own urine.
You know me well.
I do.
I'm a regular scaredy cat, you guys. I'm a badass bitch in a lot of ways,
Oh my God, you guys.
but I'm pretty much a scaredy cat. Thank God for giant knives.
That's a great shot.
I was just gonna ask you, do you like that shot?
Oh, he's eating Oreos and peanuts and crackers and peanut butter.
Oh yeah, he's snacking away. I never noticed that before.
Oh, yeah.
How long has he been in there? Like an hour?
He's eating half the stores.
Well, you know, rage does.
Jack, we're out of tomato soup already? What the fuck have you been doing?
He's like, I don't know. I ate some peanut butter crackers and Oreos, and I took a nap. It's been at least 26 minutes.
I snorted all the coffee. Rectally.
What does that even mean?
I don't know.
That's a talent.
Clean me out, though, I'll tell you that.
Here's what I want to know. How does the fake
See,
ghost guy
the
actually
Calumet
open
cans
up
are
and get it
now
out?
off center. They're not pointed directly at you.
Technically, if you were to move that little pole out of the way, they would be faced directly at you.
No, they wouldn't. Not really.
You know what else? The Heinz tomato ketchup is pointing directly at you. Ketchup, blood, death.
See?
You're welcome.
See? Golden Ray, pimiento pieces. That means you are about to be pimientoed, which is German for skinned alive.
Yep, it's also pimento. I know there's an I in there, but you say pimento.
Why is the I silent?
I have no idea.
What is a pimento?
I think it's like an olive type thing.
So by pimento, they mean you have not a lot of time to live.
I wish you could see my face, folks. It hasn't changed
I was hoping you were going to
because holy shit.
I was thinking you were going to say something like, I wish I could take back the last 10 years of my life and do it differently. The ghosts are letting Jack out of the closet.
But how? Ghosts can't move things?
Apparently they can. It's the hotel. The hotel is part of the ghostage.
This movie is wildly inconsistent with reality.
Here's one of the creepier scenes in the movie. It's just Danny walking around grunting red rum over and over again.
How is she even sleeping is what I want to know.
Again. So, Danny, we want you to pick up this gigantic knife and run your thumb along it, and then write this word on the door in lipstick while chanting red rum. It's not a horror movie, though.
Red Rum is the name of a birthday clown.
Oh. Danny, that D is backwards. Oh, that R's backwards. You just did an R correctly.
I mean, we have a kid that does the same thing, so that, to me, is realistic.
That actually is realistic.
A for effort.
Jesus Christ. Oh my God, murder. That's what red rum meant that whole time, Kelly.
Oh my God, I never thought of it.
So, Jack is axing in the door. He wants to ask them a question, but the door is locked, so he's going to axe the door down. Originally, they had planned to use a prop door so that he could easily smash through it with an axe, but Jack Nicholson used to be a volunteer firefighter.
Oh, cool.
And was very handy with an axe, so he was obliterating the fake doors. So, like, yeah, just use a real door.
That looks like so much fun.
It does.
Barring the murderer chasing you part.
Mom, can I go again? You can't get out anyway. You have time. Let me slide down again, please. Please.
She's so tiny, and she still can't fit through the window. I would be in so much trouble. These hips ain't going through that window. I'd be like, hey, Jack, can you knock down the door? Let me borrow your axe, and then give me like 35 minutes to cut a bigger hole.
35 minutes. I need to cut through the drywall. And she's just hysterical in this scene. Shelley Duvall sadly does not get enough credit for selling how horrifying this stuff is.
Oh, I give her all the credit.
But I feel like most people, when they watch...
This is fantastic.
Yeah. I mean, they focus on Jack for most of the movie, but, like, she's the one that's making it all kind of work.
Could you imagine if Tia from Uncle Buck was in this movie instead?
Do you mind?
Hey, Jack, some of us are trying to drink our coffee.
Oh, I'm sorry, Jack. Am I giving you a hard time?
And if she chops his hand, I would have stabbed right through it. I would have stabbed his hand into the door.
Yes, you should have pinned it to the door.
Yep.
Yep. That scene works so well mostly because she's just
She's over the top, freaked out.
out of her mind, terrified.
So they hear the snowcat, so that kind of like distracts them for a few minutes, which is good.
Jesus, she's just having trouble with all kinds of locks. How is stabbing it with a knife going to help?
Says the guy who punches things when they don't work.
I don't use a knife. Do you want to know why I don't use a knife?
No.
No.
That was very sincere, too.
Douche.
You almost made me choke.
You made yourself choke. Jack is lurking around the hotel trying to figure out the source of the noise that has interrupted his murderous rampage. Hollering, maybe, like, after the first couple times, if no one answers you, just don't say anything after that.
Now you're just calling attention to
You're
yourself.
Just calling attention. You're just making yourself a target. This is not going to go well for Dick.
Spoiler alert, hashtag.
Why would you put the hashtag after? That doesn't work.
What, I didn't do it right?
No. Oh, Jesus. He got an axe in the chest.
So Danny's in the cabinet and he knows.
This shot's awesome, too. He just, like, pops up into frame and he just looks like the fucking devil. Oh, my God. What is she looking at? Oh, Jesus. It's a guy in a bear suit
Hello,
blowing
Beasley.
some other guy.
Oh, I forgot about this part. Hi, Bees.
This part's so just bizarre.
You're like, why?
Well, the book, there actually is an explanation.
What's the explanation in the book?
The guy getting blown is the owner of the hotel, Horace Derwent.
That's
and
a terrible name.
He was a gay guy who brings some guy in a dog suit up to his room and fucks him.
Well, it's like the furry conventions.
Yeah. But it's way scarier in the movie because there's no explanation for it at all. And you're just like, what the fuck did I just look at?
Right.
What the hell's going on?
Right. Am I, like, high?
Yeah.
Am I having some kind of delusion?
She has not seen any of these visions or anything before, so she's like,
Right.
what? It's just this, like, completely out of place visual.
So Danny has led Dad into the
Into the
hedge
maze.
maze. It's such a cool stream of visuals because there's all like the lights in there and they're
Yep.
super bright, and so it's making it kind of hazy in the snow.
So the hedges are covered with styrofoam that was sprayed on to make it look like snow, and apparently it reeked in there.
Oh, really?
And the ground snow is all salt. And, like, people's shoes were, disintegrating because of the salt.
Jeez.
So every week they would have to change them.
Every week? How many weeks of filming did they do in this?
I don't know. I mean, Kubrick did a lot of takes.
Danny
Danny figured out
is a genius.
the old backtracking your footprints.
So because they're in the snow as they're running through the maze, Jack is able to follow Danny's footprints, and then Danny gets wise to it, and he starts to back himself out of a situation so that Jack runs himself into a dead end.
Yep. Oh, shit, Jack. Danny ain't got no more feats.
The screaming in this whole scene is cool because it's like so not his voice.
Yeah.
Like you can hear him sort of wearing down.
Yeah, and he gets more guttural as he goes on.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's so weird. That was a word I was just going to use.
He just devolves into ape noises, essentially.
Yeah. Yeah, like if you could teach an ape to say Danny, that's pretty much what it would sound like.
Yeah.
And now Jack has kind of like gotten to the point where he doesn't even know which direction to follow anymore.
He has no idea where he's going. He found his way out. And his mom is right there. And now, thanks to Mr. Halloran, they have a snowcat to get away in.
Yes.
They're going to be all right. And now Jack is just uttering syllables. Like there's not even any words coming out. Just rah, rah, rah. He's like our dog when she gets excited.
So he's singing doo-wop?
He's like, Danny, bowdle, 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 Danny, tweedledee twow, Danny little twow, Frozen. It is cold inside this maze of bush. Oh, no, don't stop moving. That's not a good idea. And now you're frozen dead.
Okay, so
Now they're
so
zooming
talk
in.
us through.
They're zooming in, they're zooming in, they're zooming in. Wait, there's a picture on the wall.
There's like 19 pictures on the wall.
But there's a picture that they're zooming in on, and it's the 1921 July 4th ball. And wait, who's that in the front? Wait, Jack Nicholson's in the front? That doesn't make sense. What?
Wait a minute. July 4th, they closed for the winter.
What?
Winter. Sorry.
Kelly, July 4th is in the summer, you see.
I was backwards. I was thinking it's a ski resort. Yeah, so like, what does that mean? He keeps getting reincarnated as a killer?
Kind of, yeah. But if you read that essay, it ties into the whole...
It only has one sentence, Justin.
No, the essay I was talking about the genocide thing. You know, it's America's birthday. America was built on the genocide of the American Indian symbolism.
But why 1921?
No reason.
Oh, all the symbolism and they just picked a random year? I don't think it works that way.
Because it's the roaring 20s, Kelly.
So we need to get everything down to the finest detail. Don't miss anything. All right, what year do you want it to be? I don't care.
So, Kelly, what are your thoughts on The Shining?
Didn't we just spend 2 hours talking about it?
What are your thoughts?
You want me to sum it up?
Yep.
Good. No, I really like this movie. I am not a horror movie fan. This isn't a horror movie, but I'm not like a...
It is a horror movie.
Yeah, but I'm not like a Jason, Freddy. I don't like
No, you
those
don't like
kinds
slasher
of,
movies.
Yeah, I don't like those kinds of movies. I do like this kind of movie where there's a lot of depth and sort of
Atmosphere.
hidden, atmosphere and hidden symbolism and
Suspense.
and so, I love suspense. And I really like all the performances. I think that the more I watch this movie, the more I pay attention to her.
Yeah.
But I mean, he's fantastic and Danny's fantastic. It's just a really great movie. And whenever someone tells me that they haven't seen it, I'm like, oh, you need to watch it.
Yeah, it's the atmosphere is great. The acting is great. It's Nicholson at his best crazy. Shelley Duvall's performance is underappreciated, particularly once the movie really gets going and
I don't like at the beginning. She's just weird and awkward.
Yeah, but
it works.
For what they were going for, it works. But once the story gets going and she just has to be hysterical, she's very effective at being hysterical.
Well, yeah, if I were living that situation, I would have been just as hysterical.
Yeah. And as I said, the set is an absolute masterpiece of set design. I want to be in that hotel forever.
Okay, Jack.
That's not weird, is it?
Yeah.
I want to stay here forever. Ever. I love Stanley Kubrick.
Yes, he does love Stanley Kubrick.
So there's The Shining, folks.
Halloween, parents' night in. Ooh,
It's parents' night in. It's Halloween, parents' night in. Yeah.
That was my evil witch.
Thanks for watching, everybody. Don't forget to subscribe. Visit us at enougha.com where you can buy official merch. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Google+.